Welcome back to our weekly Icarus patch notes. Gonna be a short one this time. I'm here with Karel, so I'm quickly hopping over to Discord. Hey Karel, how you doing?
Doing well, and you?
Not bad, not bad. It's weekend again, so time for playing.
Indeed.
But
So,
first, quickly the patch notes. Very short one this time.
emphasis on quickly, indeed.
So let's go straight into it, shall we? We are at week 159er. We can now launch operations on the go with the contact radio.
Oh.
The contact radio allows you to launch simple quests and operations remotely, so you can keep going with no stops.
Hmm.
First, a quick note about the holiday period though. As it is the holiday period, our next few updates may seem smaller than usual and missing the usual bug fixes. This is due to most of our staff being on holiday, but don't worry, we still have weekly patches planned that will continue through this period. The changelogs will just be a bit shorter than usual. I mean, give the guys a holiday break. They've been working all year long, providing us their
Yep.
own weekly patches.
Well, most companies are either skeleton staffed or practically almost entirely closed during after the 20th, which is today. So, realistically speaking, it's not unique.
Exactly. So this week we are introducing the new contact radio, which allows you to launch simple missions and operations remotely. This should be a large quality of life improvement, removing the need to track back to base between different steps on narrative quest lines. And we've also have a small preview of the next batch of Olympus operations, which are planned to be released next week. Which is good, because I've done almost all operations currently on my Olympus open world. So I'm running out of content there. So it's a good thing they will give us more operations next week.
Yep.
Now, there is a known issue with people being unable to fire weapons. So we have discovered an issue to do with ranged weapons not firing for clients when players are connected to a friend who is hosting or to a dedicated server.
Sounds familiar.
This only seems to be occurring on older prospects with existing weapons. Crafting new weapons works until you rejoin the session. As we cannot
So
complete... Yeah? Sorry?
so that also includes space equipment because this happens with my Larkwell bow as well, and you can't
Yeah,
really craft that item. So I have to
exactly.
presumably leave your prospect and come back down. It might apply,
Not...
or is it?
No, you just send your
Or is
bow
this
up.
related to?
You send your bow
Oh,
up
just
and call
oh,
it back
okay.
down.
Okay, we could try that. We could try that.
Yeah. As we cannot completely test this as it is during our holiday period, we have set up a build on the experimental branch with a potential fix. Warning though, this is not fully tested, and will include some content which will be released in future weeks, the experimental branch. I've heard people complain about this indeed, like you have
Like
to
me.
destroy, your weapon and craft a new one, or in case of
Oh,
space equipment, send it up and call it back down. To
so
be honest, I have not noticed this on our co-op open world though.
so this is not related to me trying to shoot something and then the bow deciding not to draw back until I switch out of the item and back into the item, and then I can actually use it like a weapon that's supposed to be shooting.
Exactly, that's a whole different issue.
Ah,
This is
I
where
was
you
kind of
cannot
hoping.
cannot reload.
Oh, okay, darn it. Okay,
It
I
will
was kind
show
of.
you in the ammo count, bottom right as well, blank out of blank.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping this would be the fix for that annoying bug when you can't, shoot anymore whilst
Yeah,
mid-plunge.
I had that's very same bug yesterday during stream as well. I had to
Yeah,
quickly switch to another weapon and switch back to the original weapon in order to reload it. But there's a whole different issue.
yeah.
This is about the issue where you cannot reload a weapon no more.
This is a
Especially
different issue
annoying
on
with
the issue.
one-shot weapons like a bow.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But like I said, I haven't noticed this on our sticks on our Prometheus open co-op open world though. So maybe
Yeah,
maybe we started that open
this was
world after this. Because they said you only seems to be occurring on older prospects.
yeah, but I think what it means is that there was obviously the phase where they introduced the whole magazine component to all firearms in the game, and like there's like a reload, they've created like a pocket for all of it, which is like an ammo pouch for all the weapons, and that was introduced and then refined and then changed, and then the end result was whatever it is now. But I think what they're maybe referring to is if you went straight from the old prospect without updating and having the item change with everything, there was maybe a patch or a bug or a code that needed to, well, that was like only in one of the releases. And if you went
Yeah,
straight from this old build to the current build, you would have this issue.
and
So,
then basically all prospects started before X date have this issue,
yeah,
and prospects
for
after
example, yeah,
X date do not have this issue. So I don't think
could
we
be, yeah.
have that
No,
issue on our
no.
co-op open world.
If I had created like like an open world like way back when, let's just for example, when I was like, okay, let me just create one, and then no, this isn't for me, leave. If we drop down to that prospect, for example, into that open world, that it would basically should theoretically have had the
Yeah,
issue present, but
but
either way,
even
it's
with
fine.
my older open worlds, I have not experienced this issue to be honest. And like my main Prometheus one, which is quite old
Yeah,
already.
but yeah, true, but we've gone into your old Prometheus, your main Prometheus base one on occasion. I mean, we went there, when Echo wasn't playing, and you were testing the flamethrowers, and you were doing this, and we're doing that. So
Yeah,
on occasion, it wasn't like it's been dust, gathering dust for a year, and then you started up. No, it's obviously been
true.
used more than that.
But
So
yeah,
that was what I.
they are working on a fix. There is a potential fix on the experimental branch. Uh, Hopefully they will be able to fix it proper, so people don't lose their old open worlds, because those are the open worlds which are like built out and everything is there already usually.
Yeah, true. But I mean, like you said, if it seems like the issue gets resolved as soon as you recraft the item or potentially send it back up and down. So,
Yeah, until you rejoin the session.
oh, is it?
Yep. It
Oh,
only seems to be occurring on older prospects with
oh,
existing weapons,
temporarily.
and then
Oh,
crafting new weapons works until you rejoin the session.
interesting. Yeah, so there's definitely like a piece of code somewhere which is stuck and sort of updating and fighting of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which good luck for them to fix that. That's also at the certain point where you just have to cut your losses and say sorry, we don't support the old shit
Uh,
anymore. Create a new one.
yeah, that's not
Yeah.
gonna sit well with the players.
That's tough luck. That's just part of it. At a
Like I
certain
said,
point,
if you basically force all players to like restart new open world,
it
start new open worlds, people are gonna be
happens.
like, yeah, hey, I spent a lot of time in this open world. I've built a lot of
Yeah,
nice stuff, and now I can't use it no more. People are not gonna be happy.
yeah.
So I'm
So
glad they can. That looks like they getting a grip of the actual issue, and that they
yeah,
working on a fix.
yeah. I mean, but I'm just saying it's gonna bite them in the ass if they carry on supporting legacy stuff rather than making it a clean cut with a new base and then moving forward. So
Maybe.
like a baseline. It's like the same thing with Windows, same thing with any of large software vendors. At a certain point, support ends, and
True.
then it is no longer supported because it takes more man hour to fix the legacy mess than it is
True.
to focus on new content. So if you want the game to develop at a certain point, you must not be angry at them for cutting off their fat and making clean starts towards it. And I would kind of expect the next expansion. I mean, that's obviously where they introduce new worlds. To be
Yep.
like, yeah, well, we have a new world. You have to start new.
Well, if
So
you
that's
want to
probably
play
the
in this new world, you will have to start a new open world. Yes.
yes. But my point there also is the fact that look, oh yeah, this isn't working on the old stuff anymore because new items are introduced. No, it's going to be a constant issue and a constant battle until they just decide to pull the trigger. And people just need to realize that. But then you also need to be able to
True.
decouple the two and just say, well, okay, great. No new stuff goes to those old prospects. period. If you
That
wanted to
would
get the new
mean
new things, you have to start a new one.
that would mean that people have to disable updates on their game.
Not so much disable it, but they would need to figure out a system where they, for example, with like what they've done obviously was allow current seamless integration between the new Prometheus, well, with the new like red exotic items, with the old and new, we could, if I had the resources, I could go to Olympus and use it, call down things and just
True.
carry on as if it's the same game. At a certain point, no, those things won't be visible or they would be locked out, and I can't bring it into that map because it isn't built for that map. So
Yeah,
therefore,
but
don't
I'm
code for it, don't apply the logic, don't have the complications. And if I wanted to have whatever that item was, like dogs or whatever have you, then it's like, no, you have to go to the new build or rebuild onto that like build version
yeah, but
kind of
I'm
stuff.
thinking from the point of view of current players who have this nice open world, which they have been enjoying a lot and have
Yeah,
been building out a lot, have been building nice bases and don't really want to give it up. I mean, hey, I have a couple
that's
of
true.
open worlds with
Yeah.
very nice builds.
Hey,
I rather not give up.
yeah. But that's the thing. But then you just don't get the new stuff. It's just at a
Eh,
certain point you have to weigh the stuff. You can get the new stuff if you go to the new version. Now, I'm not promoting this. I'm not saying this should be done. I'm clearly stipulating that they carry the weight of the legacy codes, which would result in this nonsense, and
true.
therefore skew the development moving forward and the resources required to adequately support it, and also provide an actual seamless experience for its people or for its players. Because yes, I don't want to go into a game and have 20,000 bugs whilst trying to play it, where this doesn't work and that doesn't work and this doesn't work and this is broken and that's broken, because that doesn't provide a fulfilling experience for me personally. So it's just that, yeah, at a certain point I can understand it. It's also a small studio. They can't do everything, and people need to realize
This
that,
is true.
and they need to prioritize where they're going, and that's the only thing. And if people are going to be upset about it, then put on a helmet, because life is hard, and that's just they have to get over it. Because yes, nobody wants to lose their progress or all of the things that they've built, but guess what? It could be rebuilt. But anyway, that's enough of my
Luckily, yeah.
rant. We can carry
Luckily,
on.
it is not a decision we have to make.
No, exactly, but that's them to make, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I've said right now. Whether it makes sense or not was, in my mind, something that they will need to discuss internally, because it probably has been mentioned already, and this is one of, if not one of many instances which sort of causes them problems, because they have to seamlessly integrate the old fixes into the new and the new into the old, and it's just one will break the one and then the other one will break this other thing, and it's just it's very difficult to maintain that, especially if you have a mixed match of team members, skill seepage as people have left the company or switched over, or new directions have taken in, or new ideas or new coding. It's very complex. So yeah,
True.
they need to trim off fat,
But
make a
yeah,
clean cut,
let's
focus on new
let's
stuff.
continue with the patch
Yeah,
notes, shall we?
exactly. Go, go, go.
So this week we get the contact radio. This week we are adding a brand new contact radio that can be unlocked and craftable. And crafted at a fabricator. When used, this device will look for the closest contact device and establish a link, allowing players to kick off simple missions and operations while on the go away from base. Keep in mind,
Hmm.
it contacts the closest contact device. So if you have two contact devices on the map, one with the
Uh-huh.
upgrades and one without the upgrades, depending on where you are on the map, the one time the radio will contact the bench without upgrades, and you can't start certain operations.
I'm
Another
going to be.
time it will
Hmm.
contact the other contact device with the upgrades, and then you can actually start all missions. Something to keep in mind.
Well, I want to test that by simply destroying the actual mission board thingy-majodge whilst you are away from base and connected to your device, because you only have
Basic,
the one,
basically, all you need
and
to
I
do
want to
is
see
craft
then.
a new one without the upgrades. You don't have to
No,
destroy the current one.
for the test that I envision, I want none to be active on the map. And therefore, I wanted to see that it does not work because it can't detect one, versus, oh, this is an item which acts as A versus connects
No, no,
to
no, no.
A.
This is connecting to. This is
Yeah, that's what they say,
if
but I need to test it in the sense
okay,
that I want to
sure,
know if that's true or not.
sure, we
That's the
can do that.
test. Because if it
Uh,
works,
we can definitely test that. We can hop in our
yeah,
co-op open world. We can
yeah,
build such a radio.
true, 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 true.
Now, with the introduction of new linked narrative missions, we thought it was time to cut out some of the traveling players need to do to kick off a mission. This way people can do multiple missions if they choose to, without heading back between each one. This is a big quality of life that we hope people will enjoy. This is not only for your missions, by the way, but also for the simple quests. So if you're away from base, you're like, okay, I've done a bit of mining, I want to do a simple quest. You don't have to go back to base first, but you can, using that radio straight away, uh, start the quest, simple quest. Or if you like, hey, for this mission we need to travel to this location, I'm already going to travel this location, and only when I'm at the location I'm gonna start the quest, if you so choose. You can do that as well.
Yep.
Now the image below is actually the Styx mission list. And if you look at the images on the, if you look at the quest block, so to say, bottom right, it shows you the upgrade you need in the contact device in order to actually unlock that mission, or be able to start that mission. Like for example, you have the highlighted one here. If you look at the mission which branches off to the left and up, you see a different icon there, meaning you need a different upgrade type for a different upgrade item for your contact device in order to unlock that mission. Well, you need to do the mission to unlock the path to the next mission. We need the upgrade for the contact device to actually start the mission. You see a couple more.
Okay.
Anyway, next week, Olympus Operations, the second batch. Next week we're releasing a brand new set of Olympus Operations to supplement the existing pool. This will complete our Olympus Operations project with all applicable missions now converted over. Like I said, I only have 2 operations left on my Olympus Open World, which I can do next week. And next patch we'll be getting new operations, which is good because otherwise I'm gonna run out of content, mission content, for my Olympus Open World. So yeah, I'm happy we're getting the next batch of operations.
Cool.
Now, your support makes these updates possible, these weekly updates, even during their vacation period, if you want to support the devs. We currently have a discount again on the complete set bundle, 10% discount. Dynamic bundle is basically looks what do you have already, and I'm only gonna add what you don't have yet. And then the changelog is very short, adding the contact
Yep.
radio,
No, it's adding the contact radar,
blueprints,
blueprints,
recipe,
recipe.
and functionality.
See, it's more than just one thing.
They basically have added the contact radio and everything that
No, no.
belongs to it.
Yes, I know.
But this is basically the patch notes. Like I said, very short, about 20 minutes.
Yeah, interesting.
So I suggest we take a, say, 10-minute break and then we go straight into gameplay. How's that
Sounds
sound?
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty, so like I said, we are gonna take a break and we will be back in about 10 minutes with subsequent gameplay. In the meantime, thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed watching us go through the patch notes, listening to the rants, etc. Uh,
Yeah.
and I hope I'll see you again in a bit.